Hello there, this is Welsh ASMR 82. Hey, how you doing? So I wanted to show you this save I've been really enjoying. I've been playing as Universitatea Cluj in the Romanian league. I've never done Romanian football before, so I thought I'd give it a go. And I deliberately chose a team that was looking to survive relegation with no money whatsoever. And also no assets to sell off, so no big players that I could make money from easily. But they do have a really good youth system. So what I did was I've played a season, and I'm going to show you the weird tactic that I've come up with and talk about how I got there and what's happening in the middle of my second season. Okay, so this is the squad I've got. As you can see, really low wages. My maximum wage is 1,800. I have one of my best players, Iliev, the goalkeeper, Bulgarian. Fantastic goalkeeper for this division. He's only 1,700. He wants about 3,000, 3,500. Or he leaves on a free, and I'm like, no, I won't go over 2,000. I personally don't think I need to. So yeah, I'm being really strict with the budget. I've got us back in. I've got us money again. We were down to, in the summer, we got to minus 1 million, which for a club of this size is a lot of money, absolutely loads. I thought they were going to go into administration or something. And one of the board objectives was to stabilise the club financially as well, so now I'm up to 500,000 in the bank, 586 to be precise. And if you look at my wage budget, they've given me, now it was about 40, but I lowered it to about 33 in the summer, and then I let most of my big players go. So I was down to about 22 at one point, and I've recruited for the new season, so I'm up to 29,822. So yeah, I'm under wage budget. I haven't used my transfer budget, and I'm in the red. No, in the black. So yeah, that's really good. I've started to make money for the club. Okay, so originally I was going to do a save with Swansea City, which is my club, and of course Swansea play the Swansea way. So I wanted to develop a tiki-taka that wasn't boring. I haven't quite got there yet, but I do have one that seems to get really good results with a much weaker team than expected. And I did it originally, so I was doing counter-attacking and wing play, and I'll show you my results. It's going to spoil this season's results, but I'll do it anyway. Schedule. So, this is last season, 2022-2023. So I didn't have a pre-season. I didn't do any of these games. I just went straight into this match, which is a mistake to begin with, right? Oh, did I? I don't think I played these teams, actually. So yeah, I just kind of wanted to go do a quick start. So I lost most of my games, and I was sitting bottom to about there. I think it was around there I changed my tactics. So let's have a little look at my tactics, which basically just weren't working at all. Yeah, so I was just playing the old classic 4-3-3, and it wasn't really doing anything. I've got very weak players on the wings. There's a rule in Romania that you have to have at least one under 21 Romanian in your first 11 at all times. So I also had to try and do that. So I had a lot of young players, particularly because I've got a good academy, or a decent academy for this level. And I was predicted to finish just above the automatic relegation places in the playoff relegation spots. So I thought I need to change things. So I got to about there, I think it was, and then I went tiki-taka, if I remember correctly. Yeah. So I went back 3, and because my theory was, well, if I just don't give them the ball, then they can't beat me. because I was struggling to score, I was struggling to create chances, so I thought, well, the board isn't putting that much pressure on me. They just want me to finish above the relegation or bravely fight relegation. And the club supporters wanted me to survive in the season. So I thought, I've never really done this before. So as long as I survive, I think basically I can do anything. So they did moan a bit about boring football in the end, but I played back three, or back five, I suppose you could say. Two in the middle, and then wings and up front. And I started to get results for me. I got 74% possession, for example, 90% pass completion rate. So I won that one. That was against Sepsi. Sounds really awful, that one sounds like sepsis. And then I won against Rapid Bucharest, which is like quite a big game. I drew, I lost to Constanța, lost to Craiova. Then Miovenia beat them. I won this nice winning run, look, against two of the best teams in the competition. Steaua and Cluj. Cluj being my local rivals as well. And then it kept on going well, but then I had a little bit of a wobble. So in the new year, I had, so this is the last game of December, I lost that one. I had two friendlies, I was fine. And then I just couldn't win a game until lovely Sepsi came along again. But I think it was at that, oh no, it was actually at this point here. So I was in the relegation group fighting for survival. I didn't make it into the sort of European spots at the top. Perhaps if I'd started as I had developed, I would have nicked a few more points. I wasn't far away, to be honest. So we got to this point and I was on a losing streak and I was in the relegation zone. And at this point, before I played this match, I was actually in the relegation spot. So I was like, oh no, it went so well. Why has it gone wrong? And the press were on my back a little bit. The board were okay. The fans were not happy. And the weird one was they weren't happy about, this one actually, they hated the fact that I drew, even though I was on a winning streak. So around here they said that, I'm too stubborn, I won't change my tactics. So I was like, okay. And I just did something really weird, and I want to, basically this whole video is based around that. So it's not quite there, no, a little bit later, I think. Maybe it was here. Sorry, I'll have to try and find it for you now. No, it wasn't there either. I did start playing a lot better. I changed the tactics a little bit. And then, I think it was around this point, the last two games of the season, this 3-0 victory, which Argeș were bottom, but still I had not really scored that many all season. Oh no, it's still not showing. I think I changed it halfway through that game. Where is it? Yes, this is it. So you're probably thinking, that's a bit weird. Let's investigate, because I've still got the same tactics. I decided I'd do pre-season with it because it was so successful, and I was a bit scared because I recruited for it as well in the summer with a lot of free transfers because I had no money, and got rid of my old guard because I need stamina. And it's blinking working. Okay, so I'm doing, they call it a positive 5131. It's not even 5131, it's like, I suppose it is 5131-ish. It's more like a 33211. And I've got the following. So I've got a sweeper keeper on attack. As I said, Iliev is really good for this league's level anyway. I'm very lucky. I've got 3 in central defence. The middle one doesn't mess around. The next 2 are ball-playing defenders. All of them on defence. What's co mean? Cover. Oh, okay, I've got him on cover, so he sits back to try and stop through balls. Although ironically, that's how I've lost my only game this season. Simeon is on a deep line playmaker on defence, but I watched a really nice video that explained that maybe I should put him on more direct passing, so I did that in the last game. Take more risks with passing, so he stays back. He doesn't move from this area here, he sits in front of the defence, and his passes go forward, he doesn't. because I need someone to just sit there. But actually, in those earlier games, I was drastically lacking creativity. So then I've got, well, all the advice says, if you're going to have wing backs or full backs, put one on attack and one on defence. And I never understood why, but now I do, because I've got this guy absolutely marauding forward. He's up here most of the time. And of course that means there's no one in defence. So my nice Goudiaby comes over here, and then that leaves just two in the middle. So Dussault actually comes back and forms a back three for Goudiaby to go off and defend the left wing back position. So he's flexible, he can do that. He's got a bit of pace, tiny bit of pace. And he's got good positioning, 13, work rate 12, stamina 11. So yeah, he's able to do that. Pitzian, for example, is my sort of mega tall one that scores from crosses, so he's not as able to get around the pitch, although he is technically one of my best players. So I read on a forum a couple of weeks back when I was looking for something completely different. Someone was like, oh, I was looking at best combinations of midfielders. You know, do you have an attacking midfielder and a Metzela, or do you have a ball, a ball-winning midfielder and an attacking midfielder? And basically, someone was like, I just have two Metzelas. And I was like, why would you do that? You've got these, both of them want to go wide and play out here and play between the lines. But actually, in this formation, it works amazingly, because the big thing about Football Manager is don't go in with your tactic unless you've been given a massive budget and you can just change everyone over. But even then, you're going to lack cohesion and understanding of tactics for some time. Instead, play to your current players that you've got in the team's strengths. I had some decent Metzelas, but these players aren't like, they're not bad. I mean, he's only got 6 tackling, and Philip has got 9 tackling. But they're both super creative players, but they're not wingers either, they're midfielders. So, for example, if I show you Beek, who's one of my best players, he only can play through the middle, but Metzela is on support and then on attack. Is one of his best position, as is Phillips. So I was like, well, I should have at least one because it's definitely their best position. I've got really rubbish wingers and I haven't got any money to buy any. Plus, I had this guy called Albert Hoffman, who is fills this under 21 role. Now, on paper, he looks absolutely rubbish, but for some reason, he's not at all. He plays really well. So if you look at his ability, he could go up to 135. So for this league, that is like a top player, and he could make it up to 1.5 million, which again for this team is the most expensive player I could have. And he's come through the ranks. I played him last year, 29 games he got for me, overall 6.7 rating, scored 1, made 2, but he can run and he can dribble and he can cross, and that's kind of all. There's no pressure on him to create. He just sort of helps me in this formation with the overlap, if you see what I mean. Because I was watching this other amazing video recently that was talking about the overlap and how to outnumber and isolate individual players and how to create a space. So this formation seems to work because Andy marauds forward. I've got someone here to cover him. He stays in the middle, so the team is strong centrally. He's not as attacking, and he doesn't need to be because he's got an attacking. Now, I didn't choose him as a wing. I've deliberately put AP, and he can do this on both sides as well. So he's not cutting in. Or he could if he wanted to, but it's a little bit more free. He can basically do what he wants to. He can just, when a defender gets isolated, either by this Metzala who's coming here, or Dussault if he's coming here, then they've got 3 running at them, but in different lines. They're not overlapping. They're not. Sorry, they are overlapping. They're not in the same position, basically, which is what I've struggled with before. So there's 3 of them to play short passes to one another, and I've got much shorter passing on as well. And the poor defenders on this side just don't know what to do themselves, because they've got 2 attacking players here and him coming at them, and then he can wander across as well. So it creates a lot of chances, particularly down that side. And then of course down the other side, I've got my most creative player on the entire pitch doing whatever the hell he likes. And this player who's up here most of the time, so there's no rest for the player on that side either. Plus, if I fancy it halfway through the game, I'll just play him over there and try and attack that one, because he's so available to do that. So yeah, it's going really well, and I'll show you the other tactics I've got on. So I've got on a positive. I read a lot about which one to put it on, and so I've decided to put positive even though I'm a weaker team, because I want them to be on the front foot. We are right up the pitch. Let me show you. We're up here now. About 75 to 85 minutes, I usually just pull right back, and then I take off the prevent goalkeeper distribution and trigger press. I come down to about slightly more to save the legs, and I don't concede late goals. I haven't been conceding late goals recently. The intensity is high, so they're knackered by the end of the game, but I do have 5 substitutes, and I've had to get rid of a lot of my sort of 30-something with no stamina players, so I am building a squad capable of doing this as well. So they're up here, so I want them to be on the front foot, because if we're doing a high press, what's the point of like setting off them just in case they counter-attack? You just need to go for it, don't you? He stays in the middle, he's covering, these 2 are defensive, he's covering over this side. So yeah, I think I've got enough in defence, to be honest. And then these 2 are running riot in the middle, because when one goes wide, the other one runs past their defender and is in the box to be with the goalkeeper, with the striker. So if he's running up the line, he's then come across. I'll show you. So he's up here having a load of fun on the wing. Oops. And then, oh no. And then he's come across to give player 1-2 with him, and then Beak is in the box, and he scores a lot of goals. Someone did say on a forum I read that mid-sellers on attack score the most goals in your team that season, and that's absolutely the case so far. Plus it takes pressure off my striker, because my strikers last year just didn't score, but to be honest, at the minute he doesn't even have to. But what he is doing is he's picking up the loose balls and the deflections and the sort of mistakes that are made in the box that these 2 create. So if they don't score, he usually latches onto the end of it, and he's just having a laugh. Just, you know, there's no pressure on him. He can just go wherever he wants to on the pitch and create a problem for defenders where there's just too many people running at them. I've got my attacking width on fairly wide. We're playing out of defence, but I'm not focusing down the edges. I'm just letting them choose, because again, I want them to use the Metzellers in the middle. Much shorter passing, but this is the thing I changed from the original tiki-taka. We're now on slightly higher tempo. It's less boring, and we move the ball around a lot quicker, and that seems to mean that we're not dispossessed and counter-attacked as much. And we play, like I said, these 1-2 passes a lot more. We also work ball into the box, and we do low crosses, because I don't really have any giants in the team. This Pitzian at the back is my largest player by a long way. Everyone else is sub 6 foot. I haven't put too many other tactics on. And in transition I put counter press, because obviously we're doing a high press, so you need to have that on. I've decided to let them choose when to hold shape and when to counter, so I haven't clicked this. They do still counter if you leave it off, you see. You don't have to. It's not like if you don't press counter, they won't counter. You're just letting them choose how to do it. And sometimes they'll hold shape when they see there's too many people left. But if you say counter, if there's like 5 people in the box, they'll still counter and they'll lose the ball again. So I'm just letting it up to their intelligence. We distribute quickly to the centre backs, and I didn't choose too much of the goalkeeper. Yeah, let's have a look at my results then, because I'm having a whale of a time this season. So I'm currently third after 4 games. I've won 3 and I've lost 1. The only game I lost was to local rivals and perennial champions CFR Cluj, who are by far the best team in the league. And yeah, so I've got those results so far. Let's look at my schedule for this year then. So in pre-season it went really well. I didn't play very big teams, to be honest, but I got 3-0, 0-0, 1-1 and 0-0. So I was thinking, oh god, the goals aren't going to come very much. Oh, I clicked by accident. But just to show you, defence-wise, we are absolutely killing it. They are doing brilliantly. And then up front, so Dussault came on the right back, Pires came on in the midfield. So against Craiova, who finished second last year, I beat them on the opening day 1-0, and I feel confident. Ploiești, who beat me all the time last year, I beat them 1-0. The manager hates me. We always go to each other's throats in the press conferences. I lost to Cluj, but only 1-0, and it was through a through ball, and my defender, Obambu, didn't pick it up, unfortunately. We played as well as them. Look, we were at home, so we shared the same stadium now. 56 possession, 91% pass completion, 2 shots on target to their 1, 6 shots on target to their 3, and 0.66 expected goal to their 0.68. So we deserved a draw at the very least. It was quite a shame that we sort of slumped to a defeat in that one. I thought we were going to get a draw, and then I just beat Hermannstadt 2-1 as well. I got a team that's just been promoted, so I think that's going to be like a try and break them down because they sit back on the counter-attack one. Then I got Rapid Bucharest and Farel Constanța, were both pretty good teams, finished in the top 6 last year. Yeah, so that is my tactic, that is what I'm doing. I hope you found this interesting, particularly me talking about a different technique. So at the minute, I'm really loving this tactic, and I think when I do my Swansea save, I might use it because I'll have to see whether it works for the players that are in that team, because the Swansea team of 2022-2023 is pretty appalling. It depends, the Metzellas have to be good in this, obviously, but I know that Swansea do have good wing-backs, very decent defence and goalkeeper, bit rubbish striker. Oh no, actually I think we've got Pirouet in that save, actually. And they don't have many wingers in that particular save. We've bought them recently, so yeah, but maybe I'd try and get a youth player in and use the youth. Use Jason Congreve or something. Anyway, so yeah, I'm testing tactics out in this league because it's very low pressure, and it's kind of fun just coming along and being, you know, nominated for Manager of the Month next to Georgie Hadji and who else is the managers in this league? Are just all the classic greats from yesteryear. Let me see now. So Cluj is Dan Petrescu, Chelsea fans, and FCSB is, oh no, Teja Steaua Bucharest, Ilia Poinaru, no. We got Georgie Hadji for one of them, Rapid Bucharest, Adrian Mutu, and again another Chelsea link. So yeah, ex-Chelsea players ahoy. Yeah, so I'm really enjoying it. It's quite a fun league to play in, to be honest. And as soon as I figured out in the middle of the transfer window that any African player is not deemed as a foreign player, because it said no more than 4 foreign players in the matchday squad. It doesn't actually say it here though, but it says I need to have a minimum of 6 players trained in Romania for 3 years before their 21st birthday, and I need to have a minimum of 1 under 21 Romanian player in the starting 11. So if you take one off, you need to replace them. I'm using my youth team because they're actually pretty decent, but I got in 2, so I had Pires was my captain, and then I got in a Colombian defender, Juan Jose Parra, and then I signed so I couldn't get anyone from the European Union that I want, and Ukraine. They're not classed as foreign. But then I was like, oh no, I've signed a couple of Senegalese youngsters. They're going to go past my limit of 5, or 4 should be. So I bought 3 Africans, and then it was like nothing happened. It didn't say that I couldn't sign them, so I checked. And I got the rules wrong. So it says rules. All African, Caribbean and Pacific groups of states of nations are treated as EU. So I can buy literally anyone from Africa and they just play as if they're from the EU, which is incredible. So yeah, I was like, oh my god, get me some out of contract Senegalese players please. So at the minute I've got Bulgarian, 2 Bulgarians, 1 Colombian, 1 Croat, 1 player from Gabon, 1 from Martinique, loads of Romanians, 3 Senegalese, and a Brazilian. So yeah, I just signed them for like low wages, and they're doing brilliantly in my formation. Anyway, this was supposed to be a short video, but I ended up talking about tactics, so that's fine. Some of you wanted me to talk a little bit about tactics, and I suppose I tick that box in whilst talking about my current save. So yeah, as usual, let me know what you think about my save. Tell me, am I crazy? Will this work in any other league? Is it just a fluke? Have you done something similar? I don't tend to do asymmetric ones, so this is quite a fun one because it's working. But yeah, well, I'll let you know how it's going through the season and whether it falls apart soon. And I can't change to anything else because I've invested all my new players in this formation. Okay, more content from different clubs soon, but for the moment, thank you so much. Leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Join my Patreon, and I'll see you again really, really soon. Take it easy. Bye-bye.